Anyway,
Yeah.
Just a side note.
Okay, so we got that. You're now going on your sustaining your camp for this large camp sustaining. We got medical. I mean, we don't really go there. I mean, Ricky went over that pretty dang well last night. We all know that pretty good. Just remember base camp. If you got paramedic level or higher, that is our goal. That's what we want. But if we got a guy who put a bandage on, put some compressions, some tourniquet on, hey, that's great. Or get a hot knife or a pan and sear that sucker. You know what? If it stops the bleeding, it stops the bleeding. I ain't gonna be happy if you put a hot pan on my wound. But if it stops the bleeding, I'm happy. We may not go have beers for a week or so afterwards, but it's all right. You stop the bleeding, we're alive. So maybe a month later we can go have a beer. But that week I'm probably not going to be liking you right now. But anyways, so, and like I said, the mobile, if we can have mobile, we have a bag. You can take it out from here. You got something that's a little big. You're not going to just run out mobile. It goes on the four-wheeler. You can grab out there, go out there. If somebody's cutting wood and they get hurt, something a little bit bigger than you can carry your IFAKs. Anybody's got, like we were carrying today. We're shooting just something small, and that's all that's in there. The only thing nasal pharyngeal, I don't have that on here. Just kind of one of those things that you can use, can't use. It depends. If you don't know how to use it, you can screw somebody up. So I don't put it on here, but it usually comes in a lot of them. So it's one of those things you need to practice. So it's good to use it. So if you can get a chance to practice it, you want to use it. But basically everything else in it, you're good. Okay, personnel tracking. I put in here a lot of tracking and making sure people aren't basically. We don't want everybody tired. We really don't want people tired. One person's staying up forever for 48 hours straight, on watch. That's just not right because they're not going to be able to be effective. You want guy up, guy down. That's what we're looking for. Daily operations, supply, water purification, trash removal. And I put on your fecal removal. It's kind of you get a chuckle almost when you say that, but it's true. I mean, we got latrine. Careful. If you have to bag it, if you're somewhere where there's water all around, you can't bury it. Can you dig a bunch of trash bags? Can you put it up and then take it on the four-wheeler and take it somewhere else? If you're in somewhere more urban or even somewhere else that you just can't dig and you're going to have a chance of ruining your water supply. So that can happen. Because it goes in the ground. If you got a bunch of people in a concentrated area and you got a spring or something, you don't want to mess up your water. I mean, water's important. Well, you ain't gonna live very long if you don't have that. Food, perishable, non-perishable. If you got a lot of perishable food, you're gonna want to go through that first. And how you gonna get ice? Well, we got a river. How you gonna secure it from animals and other people, or can you keep it cold? Can you make a little fridge? Can you make a box? Can you get some logs, dam it up, and put stuff in there? Make it a little cooler, or what can you do to keep it cold without? Because I got 2 blocks of ice, and it's already gone down pretty good. It's pretty warm. But could have put it in the river and put some things down there, made something. I could have, but I'm kind of lazy right now today. I will go down to Super One and grab 2 blocks of ice, and I know I'm gonna be out here for a couple days. It's gonna work, but for a longer time, then I'm gonna save my stuff that's can sit in the cooler. My shelf stable meat and that. I'm not gonna eat that right away until the end. I'm gonna eat all the other stuff first. Like I had elk burger this morning. Well, that's frozen. It's still good in the cooler. It's not gonna hurt it. So just go through it. Just know what you can go in the back shelf that you're gonna eat your perishables first and non-perishables after. Or how you're gonna go is you can resupply. You can always go through those. And then there's a whole lot of I've gone through on the back. I'm not even going through that. It's gonna take too long. And it makes the class a lot longer. We need to. And that's just a recap of a large base, because that's going to make it more relevant for our small base. Okay? Any questions on that? No? Okay. Now we're going to go into our small camp, small base, whatever you want to call it. I try to make this more of a civilian thing. I pulled some of this from military sources too, and I don't like to always put soldier. I don't like to put troop, ruck. I mean, we get enough sometimes we get enough stigma of stuff, so I try to make it, I'm not trying to make it, I'm not the most PC person. That's all right. We're still trying to, you can do the same thing and tell a backpack. You can say, instead of patrol, we go for a walk. It's all right. So if you're on the radio, Everybody does, because everybody has radios and everybody's listening. Even though you think you got secure, you're not secure. You know that. Everybody's listening to what you say. So it's nice. I'm going for a walk. What's the difference between going for a walk and going for patrol? It's the same thing.
Situational awareness, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, you're going for as long as you're looking around when you're going for a walk.
There you go.
Just don't go for a stroll. Now, if you went for a stroll, that might be different, but we're going for a walk. So, okay. Now, the first thing I got here is we got a little guy here. This is going to help me out a lot here. Need a volunteer, and I see a little guy over there. If we can get some help there, Jeff.
Which one?
Little guy, little curly hair.
Okay.
Malachi.
Come here, buddy.
Hey, Malachi, you want to help me out, bud? He's like, Malachi, want to help me out? Want me to start a show?
Come here, buddy.
I don't know, pressure's on.
Okay, now this is pretty important, especially.
I don't think he wants to.
He won't.
Maybe this guy.
Okay, come on over.
Trev.
Good. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Okay.
What's
He's
going
got,
on here?
he's gonna. He's got a little bit bigger foot. It's not gonna work as quite as good, but it'll work. Okay, I don't have a bigger towel. Usually, if a bigger guy, you use a bigger towel. This is just a demonstration. Okay, stand on up here on top of the bench for me, would you? Go ahead, and stand up here, bud. Okay, this is an old trick.
Stand on it.
Now, what happens if something happens? He gets lost out in the woods. Are you gonna find him?
Yes.
It'll be a lot harder. Well, right here. Watch this foil and this towel here. Take your foot and just center and step on here like this. Okay, step off. Okay, you see that? Now I got his footprint. If you got a little bit thicker towel, I didn't bring a thicker towel here. We can pass this around. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this up here, like inside the vehicle, inside your tent or whatever, with his footprint. And you write his name on there. Now, when I go out here and I see this, for anybody, so this is going to be for camp security too. Everybody's going to step on a footprint. We're going to know who's around here. So when I go walk around, if you're like, if everybody's not wearing military boots, everybody's wearing military boots, and also you see thanks, bud. So you step down and you see like a skateboard shoe. Well, we ain't got nobody with a skateboard shoe, and somebody's walking around all of a sudden on fresh stuff. Well, that ain't right. So now you can walk around there, or somebody gets lost. Either way, you can use it both ways, and these are real nice. That's what my grandpa used to do when we were little kids, when we're going out. So if we got lost, he could look for us.
Put the towel on top and
You put the towel on the bottom and the foil underneath, and that way it makes a relief of the shoe print. So you can kind of see right here. See, and it didn't, like I said, it got a little thicker, like a big bath towel. And now you can see what the footprint looks like in the dirt. See how that works out pretty good, doesn't it? It's not. Especially with little ones, you have them do that, and then they go wandering off. How you gonna know what their footprint looks like? I mean, that's one of the first things. I mean, it doesn't seem huge, but it's a huge thing. Have you ever done search and rescue? I had a buddy that walked off when we were in junior high, and this was down the Pollock area, and him and another buddy, they took off, and I just said, no, I'm going to go, and this was on a school trip. 3 days, they were out. All I had is t-shirts on. They dang near died. And I didn't go with them. And her mom and dad looking for them and that, and they finally found them. But yeah, something like that would have helped, because trying to track them, but there were so many footprints going off, and they don't know what they're like, well, what were they wearing? Well, no one remembers what they were wearing. They asked me, I'm like, oh, he's wearing shoes. No, I was in junior high boy. I didn't remember what he was wearing. But it has something like, if you have something like this, it makes it a whole lot easier. So that's just the first thing on there. Okay. Now, sorry if I did forget the rest of I had 3 other training aids I should have brought. But electronic. Now, weather doesn't have much effect on these, but battery life will limit to one or more. You see this on more than anything else. Okay, what I usually do for these, I mean, you can buy spendy, expensive wiring drives and that. I go to the dollar store. Have you ever used those little electric magnetic brake devices? Ever seen those? You can get them, and you switch it on. You put one side on the door, one side the door jam, and when the door opens up, it sets off a pretty loud alarm. So you can put up against a tree, you can put up one side up on a stick with the wire running out. You take just a little modification, a little JB weld, and you run some microcord, you run across the trail. So when that stick moves just a little bit from it, you're going to have a loud, I mean that alarm will not go off, and it's loud. And they're $1 piece. They make it great. And it's got little screws on the one side that screws to the door, and the other side, these screws are double-sided tape.
Where do you get them at?
Dollar store.
Around here?
Yeah. Down in Ponderay they have them. Like I said, I was rushing around with the kids, forgot them. So like I said, I'm sorry I forgot those. But you can pick them up. They're just a little white. You'll see them electronic alarms for, so like you got kids or something too.
Oh.
You can put them on the
For the
cabinets.
door?
You can put them on the doors.
Oh yeah, those.
You can put them up there. The thing is, firecrackers, I forgot them. You can get the poppers, but you can get the loud torpedoes. You can drop those things. They're loud as a black cat, but then you can throw them, or you can put like a rock, same thing, make a trip. So that way when they trip the wire with a clothespin, it drops the rock, smash it between the two. But the problem is if they get wet, they'll deaden. So like something here where it's really hot and gonna be dry, it works really great.
Probably put them in a plastic bag or something.
You probably could, but it might deaden the sound a little bit.
You might, yeah.
So, but anyways, that's another thing you can use. Improvise tin cans, make anything that jingle jangles. Just stringing a bear line, anything. And this is for like small, like say you guys are out or it's my family or something you can put up so if somebody comes in there. This is not for big. Remember this is small camp. We're not talking big camps. You can use it for big camps, but gone over the other and there's a lot better stuff. So this is just for, like I said, for small. This gives you that up close, and if, like I said, someone comes in or walks up the hill here, you can put something up there, or at nighttime, so don't get on the back of your tent. This is what we're looking for.
That's the one near my hammock.
Okay. Okay. Keeping it clean, camp clean. Trash. So you're best to recycle, purpose, burn if able. Keep away from camp. Keep away from camp animals out of. I think I wrote that wrong. Keep animals away from camp or out of camp, but also put in heavy trash bags and hoist at least 15 feet in the tree if possible. Not securing trash will invite wildlife in your camp from a big like bears, which can be deadly, or raccoons, which have rabies, and small ones like mice who can carry hantavirus. So, any, like I said, food scraps, anything trash, all that you want to try if you can. Get it high up in the tree. You know, if you can wash when you're done, keep it washed up, scrubbed up. Just rinse it down, go down the river and just rinse it out. That's going to keep your sanitary in your camp there. Like I said, if you can burn, the paper, get it burned up good. And when I'm saying burn it up, I mean burn it up. Don't just leave a little bit, because they still can, the animals can smell quite a bit if it's not quite burned up. Tripping hazards. Jeff, he tripped over a rock here this morning, so that was a perfect example. I was kind of laughing. I know it was going to be in my class. It's like guy wires, trailer, hitches, stumps, exposed rocks, roots, loose gear not secure. Flagging is very important. Any mechanical injury that is sustained from a trip that could have been prevented puts serious strain on the ability of your camp to secure itself. So, I mean, if someone breaks their leg, strains, does anything, they're not going to be much use to you. I mean, if you got two kids, if they're not going to be able to go get firewood, then I'm going to have to go get firewood and do everything else along with it. And they're going to be sitting there just eating, out of the cooler, and they're not, and sit around the fire, and I'm going to have to do that extra work they could have been doing. Or if I get hurt, then what's going to happen? Who's going to drive us home? That's the worst. That could be really bad. If I trip over something. Bathrooms, you want to keep them at least 100 feet away from camp or all water sources. Use, if you do got lime, you want to use lime to help control the smell. P-tubes, I don't know if anybody knows what P-tube is. What's that? No, like you.
Oh,
This
it's
P
like
tube.
my-
Okay, you can use a P tube. It's like I say for guys, it's about a 4-inch pipe, buried in the ground, a little sand, and then you can pee in it. So if you got a bunch of guys around, we use them in the military, so they're not going this tree, this tree, this tree, and there's like all of a sudden a bunch of dogs running around peeing all over everything, and it's 100 degrees out. It starts smelling around here. But if you got just a little, make a little trap like that, but you make a little thing with a little tube they pee in. Now they all pee on that, and it stays right there instead of everywhere. Because there's only so many trees that tuck behind, and it starts smelling around because it's like everywhere. So it's a good thing if you're especially gonna be there for quite a while. Okay, if you can't get distance away from water sources there, and are on the move, using trash bags is also a solution. I mean, I've used them. I use them when I'm hunting. Sometimes in my blind. I got a little seat or a bucket, and that works pretty good. I just take a 5-gallon bucket, a pool noodle, slice it, put it over top of it, use a trash bag. Double bag, got one underneath, and just wrap it up, and then put it all down there and put a lid on it. Works pretty good. When you're done, pull out, pull noodle, and then just dump in the dumpster. I mean, not the best, not what you really want to do, but at the same time, you know, if you're in a good hunt spot, or somewhere you can't, you know, you're right on the water and there's nowhere else to dig a hole and all that, you can do that. Wash stations. I was showing the kids last night. It's best to use the 2-bucket wash station. I don't know if anybody's used that before that much. Where you wash everything and then you get another bucket once you do, rinse it with a little bit of bleach in there. Just a few drops of bleach, and then let it dry. That'll sterilize it really good. Anybody use that?
Could you repeat that for me, Reaper? I'm sorry.
The 2-bucket wash station.
Okay.
For dishes and
Washes, you use it, like I forgot the soap last night, but wash it up there, and then when you rinse it, you just put a few drops of bleach in the second bucket,
Okay.
water, and you drip, and then if you can hang it or just dry it out, and that'll sterilize it,
Oh, okay.
the bleach.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so that keeps it good and sanitized, especially out when you're out camping.
Right.
Because it's really hard, even if you thought you got clean and scrubbing it, it's hard. But just a couple drops, and like I use those, and then the thing is like the frosting buckets for soup from Safeway.
Okay.
They work real good. You can clean in that one, and then you once you kind of make sure it's all like, you don't want to use too sudsy of water, just a few drops, like one or two drops of soap in that bucket, about half full with hot water. Dump a little more cold water so it's standable for your hands. So you don't want, I mean, you want as hot as you can stand when you're out here, and then go in the rinse and a hot rinse with the bleach water. And that's it. We did in the military a lot. They'd have like 55-gallon trash cans. You take your mess kit, rinse it with a towel, and then you just dunk it, and then just sit there and hang it.
Basically a cap for a gallon.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
I don't
food-
even.
That's what
there's
food
sometimes-
service uses.
Yeah, but I don't do it quite that much out here, or sometimes I do a little less, but kind of. But it works good. So, okay. So food storage, my biggest thing is keep it high and dry if possible. Or food totes. I get Rubbermaid totes now are great. You can buy them fairly cheap, especially after holidays. In a cooler, pick one that has excellent seal and keep the outside clean from food smell. I mean, you can have it great, but if you have food all over the outside, it's gonna, you're gonna bear ripping the lid off, because if you got food, kids grabbing with food residue. Same goes for your food prep area. Try to keep it clean. Clean as whistle. Even the ground. Remember, rats carry the Black Plague. Also, Salmonella, E. coli, dysentery are not fun anyway for modern medicine, and you're away from modern medicine and indoor plumbing. So nobody's good when they got dysentery. And that's there. Okay. Noise discipline. Try to keep it to a minimum. I mean, it's pretty simple. You're out in the woods, you want to enjoy yourself, and you don't want to be completely.
light discipline too.
Yeah, light discipline.
Even if you have a light doesn't mean you need to be running them all the time.
Yeah.
Do things as dark as you can, or shield it from the direction you think that
You got like
will
that
be
tarp. We
observed
got
from.
tarps up there, so it shields it off a little bit. Okay, water supply. In a small group, in a small camp or group water will be viable with a lack of people that you have to spread out to do different jobs. So water conservation is very important. But also being in a small group has advantage because you can survive off a smaller water source, like a spring, if you're lucky to find one where you may not have to purify it for consumption, thus saving valuable energy. Like I said, if you're in small groups and that, you can, like I said, there's springs around here, but if you can get that, you don't have to purify that most time. If you can get straight out of there. Now the pool underneath, you don't know what's been going into that pool because it could be more sediment amount, but the water runs straight out of the spring, should be fine. So you could save you a lot of time. And also on that, it's just, I've always said, is you can purify all the water you want, but if you don't secure that water supply, one bullet through your water supply ruined hours and hours and hours of work. So if you're able to sandbag, dig it down into the ground, or got something that logs around, build like a log cabin thing around it, at least, you know, a bunch of logs stacked up around it. Protect that if you got a nice big barrel and you've been working at that and going down the water, boiling on the fire, let cool, and keep doing that and keep dumping it in there. That's awesome. If you got actually, like when the kids, you know, they go down there, get a bucket, and you fill up and keep doing that. But one round through that water barrel, straight around, something comes in, all that's gone. So, and then you need, when it's hot and cold, that's a lot of work. Getting that wood, getting that water. So, just protecting what you have. So, gotta always keep that stuff in mind. Okay, environmental dangers. This is pretty big when you're in small groups. Fire. You know, like I said, you look around here, it's not too bad. But a rake is a great tool. You can clean up a campsite and relieve most of the fire danger underfoot. Look to see if there is any escape routes other than the one you came in on. Available water if you need it to help you put the fire out. Well, look out here. There's one way out with a vehicle, but there is a river you can jump on and swim.
There's an ATV trail that goes that way
Well,
to the road.
yeah,
so
but that's not it's not really a other way for vehicles to get out. You're pretty much stuck coming in here for a vehicle. But there is a river. There's lots of water. There's a way to get out. I mean, it goes right down the dam. It's not that far down to the dam, the dam, and swim down there and get up and get out of here. Get across the river. So you're not completely stuck here. You might have to stuff is stuff, whatever, right? So oh well.
Go pick up those papers.
Water, flood. Is your campsite in a floodplain or in an arroyo where flash flood can happen? Check local weather. It may be nice where you are, but up above there can be serious rain that can have flood water come down on you. So, been there in Colorado, fighting fire, and all of a sudden a bunch of water came down on us. That wasn't no fun.
At least
You
it
might
took
not
out
even
the
see
fire.
the rain that
No,
falls.
we didn't.
Yeah.
It about took us out, or my fire team.
At least it took out the fire.
So yeah, so you just gotta watch out. You know, water can be great, but it can also be dangerous in floods. You know, like I said, right down here, you're playing down the river, and all of a sudden, big old thing comes running down on top of you, and you didn't even know it. So some things are just unpredictable. You don't know. Wind. With high winds, check vertically above you. Tops of trees or limbs could be very dangerous during and after. If they're break off, these are called widow makers. So like I said, just looking up. Doesn't take very long, but looking for tops of trees or limbs that could fall down. Even if there's been winds, not been winds, when you walk into an area, look for a campsite, just look above you. You never know. It takes you a couple seconds to look and see if you're going to put your tent there. And if there's a big old treetop broke out, it hasn't been wind yet, but if there is, all of a sudden it drops right on top of you when you're sleeping. Get some high winds at night, you didn't know. Snow brings cold, slick, and icy conditions. Avalanches. Also, again, heavy snow can break treetops and limbs. Hypothermia, frostbite, frost nip. You can also conceal dangers beneath. That an outdoor situation can create a huge problem again if one gets crippled or killed or can get crippled or killed from something. Like I said, if you're going across, water, there could be a big hole or something. If you're walking across the snow, you think it's great. It's all nice and compact, and you fall and hit a stop, comes up through your leg, and just medical. It's just, a lot of bad things can happen. You don't know. Like I said, concealed stuff there. Like I said, stuff can fall out. A big old clump of ice can be formed up in the top of a tree, drop on your head. It's nice, but there's a lot of things can happen in the wintertime. Heat exhaustion, dehydration, heat strokes, bad sunburns, and food spoilage. So again, we go back to food spoilage. We're not going to survive without food. So heat's another bad one. And first aid, everybody knows heat exhaustion, dehydration, heat stroke, all those, right? Okay. And wildlife. No matter the size, no matter the size, they have their issues. You are going to have to to keep small animals. To keep small animals away, you need to stay clean, but also to keep enough noise to keep bears away or keep large animals away. So, like I said, you want to keep noise and that, like for your little animals and that, or keep quiet. But then you also large bears and stuff. If you're trying to be so quiet, they might just come on in and not know. They might smell and not know what's going on. So it's kind of a toss-up of how much you want to make, how much noise you want to make. So, any questions on any of this before we go into the other? No?
I got it. I did my thing.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to just go with some tips real quick here. I'm going to go in there. Yeah, I'm going to shut off.